Hi, Jonathan Godfrey, On-Site Wastewater Professionals, and we're at the WET Show in Indianapolis 2024, and I'm with the folks at Norweco, Brett Weber and Jenny Borgeson, and we're talking about, or looking at the Singulair Green.
Mm-hmm.
Right, it's treatment. Could you guys walk me through the process here, how this works and what this is?
Sure, absolutely. We'd be happy to, John. So this is the Singulair Green system, and we also today are displaying a Singulair Green with an optional 520-gallon pump chamber. I just want to point out that this is for both standard 40 and 245 applications. We do have both of those certifications through NSF. So John, what you're looking at here is this is the pre-treatment chamber of the Singulair Green system. This is where, as wastewater comes in, the non-biological material is going to settle out, and that's going to settle out at the bottom in this 450-gallon volume pre-treatment chamber.
So initial tank, primary treatment, solid settling, right?
That's exactly right. And biological material, obviously, not settled.
Sure. Now, we're going to have, gravity's going to be the theme of this all the way to the other end. So gravity flow of effluent from here to the next chamber, is that correct?
That's correct. So it is a gravity flow system all the way through, and there are 4 inches of fall from the inlet to the outlet of the clarifier.
Very good. Now, this system can handle up to 600 gallons a day.
That's
right?
correct. It is rated for up to 600 gallons per day of domestic strength wastewater.
All right, so we're going from our
pre-treatment
tank, and now we're jumping into what?
This is the aeration chamber, right? And this is where air is going to be introduced to the wastewater, the pre-treated wastewater, via our 206C aerator. So the 206C aerator typically is going to only run half the time. So in our base model, that's going to be 30 minutes on, followed by a 30-minute off cycle. It's going to deliver, when it's activated, it's going to deliver 3 cubic feet of air, and it's also going to be spinning at 1,750 RPM.
Not only aeration, but agitation. That spinning is really going to keep things mixed and the oxygen content distributed, right?
That's exactly
Does that aerator live in the riser, tucked away in there?
As a matter of fact, it does. And so
Sure
this
does.
riser is, specifically designed with mounting to have the 206C aerator be the appropriate amount above the wastewater. There's actually, too, with our new threaded lid design, which we introduced a couple of years ago. So now you can see at the top there's a little vent at the top of the aeration chamber, a little vent cap. So that does allow that oxygen to freely flow into the system and be delivered into the wastewater.
So we are nitrifying in here. We have aerating that wastewater, right?
That's correct.
We got major treatment. We got agitation in here. Where do we go from here?
All right. So after the wastewater comes out of the aeration chamber and it goes into the clarifier by virtue of the biostatic sludge return. And you can see in here too, I just want to let you get in there, at the bottom of the clarifier you're going to see a transfer port.
So that transfer port is going to do what? That clarifier is angled, it's sloped, and so...
Slope hopper, that's correct.
Okay.
And so what it's going to do is it's going to direct settled solids back into aeration during the on cycle of the 206C aerator.
So the sludge or settled solids that you create in this process have a chance or are going to be routed back into aeration, where that agitation really starts to have an impact, mixing it in and then biologically breaking that down, right?
That's correct. That's exactly
So
right.
we're now clean effluent, nitrified effluent over here, clarified, and I see maybe some media or a filter in there as well.
That's correct. So this is our Biokinetic system. The Biokinetic system, you can see there, that's the design flow media, so that's an attached growth media. You can also see the peak flow media at the top. That's in the event that there's any surge into the system. So the wastewater continues to find its way, out of the system downstream. I do want to point out, so the Biokinetic system, it is unique to the industry, right? In the sense that this is, of course, a filter, but in addition to being a filter, it is a flow equalization device, and it can be a disinfection device as well. We actually have designed it with feed tubes available so that you can deliver the appropriate amount of chlorination and, of course, dechlorination.
Yeah, discharge or MPDS or something like that.
That is correct. And I'll tell you, one of the really, really neat things, though, what makes it very unique, it's also a flow equalization unit. So we talked about the respective chamber volumes, right? 450, 600, 250, but that's to the design flow. We've designed this system to have approximately 200 gallons of freeboard area where when there is a surge event from a party or you come back from vacation, you're not going to have partially treated effluent leaving
we're not
the system.
forcing it out the door,
It's
right?
going to store it in the freeboard area.
Very good. Okay. So that flow equalization, letting the treatment catch up with the flow in the
Exactly.
house. And so from here, we're moving through the clarifier, and then this is an optional add-on, but many times in our case, this would be followed by a drip system, something like that. And so in this case, flows by gravity into this, and then...
That's exactly right. So this was developed exactly for the type of use you're saying, a drip. Also, if it needs to be discharged off lot under pressure, obviously this is a wonderful tool for contractors, particularly that are looking for an all-in-one because of usually lot size restrictions or other issues. So here you can see this is a 520 gallon pump chamber, and we've actually got this display model with our high head effluent pump, the HP 105, along with the plumbing, as well as UV and re-aeration. In Ohio, for instance, this has a great application for NPDES, which is why we're displaying it with re-aeration, because in addition to disinfection in Ohio, systems that are discharging off lot also have to have at least, I should say, 6 milligram per liter of dissolved oxygen.
So we wouldn't have a requirement in North Carolina for that, but we would need the UV to get our fecal numbers in line. So
Yeah.
this is, taking a step back, it's a 600 gallon
600
day,
gallons, yes, sir.
all in one package that gives me treatment, high level, very clean effluent. We're talking single digit BOD, single digit TSS, ability to possibly run nitrogen numbers
Down to single digits as well.
down into very low numbers, and then a possible final discharge or pump chamber on the
That's correct.
all in one package.
And that's exactly right. And I want to point out that our partners, including our partners in North Carolina, our partners in North Carolina can purchase this whether they want to have the pump chamber without anything in it.
Sure.
So they want to locally source a pump and plumbing. We do make that available, the pump and plumbing, for our partners. But again, it can be customized. So if you don't need that re-aeration, then our partners would simply order it without that. And you'd be good to go.
Delivered like this. Well, thank you guys for taking a minute to talk to me. It's been informative.
All right.
Thank you, Brad.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
John.
Thank you.
Very much appreciated.